How to not get scammed on exchanges. We already know that you have to have an exchange account in order to keep your money in the crypto universe and to be able to buy and sell from people and to be able to do different things with your money. Obviously, this doesn't mean that it's safe. It's only as safe as the individual who is using the account. That means you. So, if you have an exchange account and the exchange is very secure and nobody can hack it, that's all well and good. But if they get access to your account through your devices, through your passwords, if they find a way of compromising your device, getting your codes or whatever it is so that they can get access to that exchange, it doesn't matter whether the exchange was unable to be hacked because you're the one that got hacked and they got access through you. So, step number one, obviously the base layer, is make sure that you're using an exchange that is secure, an exchange that cannot get hacked. Exchanges are constantly changing around over time depending on their perceived safety. So remember that no single exchange or group of exchanges that we recommend in this university may ever stay that way. You may need to actually think for yourself. For example, FTX. Maybe some people were recommending FTX, and then in the future we find out that they were corrupt all along, even though a lot of trustworthy people in the industry believed that they were legit. This is a great example of always being aware of what's going on, keeping up with the news, understanding the condition of the exchange that you're investing on, and being aware of it. Constantly asking for recommendations for exchanges is generally a bad idea. It's more appropriate to ask what indications of a quality exchange are you looking for. And this is a very complicated subject in of itself, so we won't be going into that here. However, it's good to know that you need to be putting in extra research just in case. So here are the fundamentals. Use two-factor authentication. Always have two-factor authentication turned on. Do not use SMS two-factor authentication where possible, because your device can get SIM swapped, which means somebody has the potential to get remote access to your mobile phone number. This cannot happen with the two-factor authentication done by the time generation codes produced by like the Google security app, for example. So where possible, make sure that you have the SMS authentication turned off and have the Google or the time-based codes authentication turned on. Make sure you always have two-factor authentication turned on, though, as basic as it can possibly be. This will help you. It's one level better than just having a password, and it will save you many times. Do not give your password to anybody. Even if it's somebody that you trust, the mere act of sending it to them or showing it to them may reveal it to a third party. It's not always about the individual that you trust. Sometimes it's about whoever's watching or whoever has access to that information. For example, putting your passwords over MSN Messenger, and then somebody can intercept that unencrypted message and then steal your password and then use it to access your accounts. So just don't do it. Make sure you're using the correct website or application. A lot of the time, scammers on the internet will clone these websites to make them look like the originals, and they will have the URL will have different numbers or letters in them to make them look like the originals, but they will be completely different. So don't make the mistake of falling for this old trick. Make sure you're always verifying the right addresses, make sure you're verifying the names, make sure that you're always downloading the legitimate applications or you're using the legitimate websites for these exchanges that you're using. Do not fall for phishing emails. You will be sent lots of emails saying things like, an unauthorized transaction has been made on your account. Quickly press this link to block it. There will be millions of different examples of this type of scamming going on. Think critically. Use your good sense. Look at the email addresses these things are being sent from. Often they're just gibberish. 99% of the time, they're absolute scams. Do not click on the links. Please, for the love of God, have some common sense and do not fall for these scams. Finally, keep your money off the exchanges where possible. Exchanges are not banks. They are meant to exchange, and that is where the name comes into it. So they are not banks. Do not keep your cryptocurrencies or your fiat currency, your dollars or anything. Really don't store it on an exchange for extended periods of time if you can avoid it. This means we recommend using hardware wallets, software wallets, removing the money from your accounts and putting it back into your bank where possible. All of these things are better than keeping it on the exchange itself, because the exchange is just a company run by fallible people. They can make mistakes just by anybody else. A lot of the times they're not regulated. Even the regulated ones, the oversight isn't very complete or comprehensive, so sometimes they can still fail and have bank runs, and they can go insolvent and take all of your money from you. So it's always good sense to get in, do your business, and then get the fuck out again. Don't panic as either. It's not a case of like putting your money onto an exchange is like some sort of a like super dangerous experience. You can relax, you can keep it there for a few days or a few weeks if you really want to, but just always be aware that it's not a safe place for endless storage, okay? It's simply not. So keep your money, keep your capital off your exchanges where possible, keep it safe, put it in ledgers, put it in hot wallets, or keep it in your bank where possible.